All right, so for today's video, I just wanted to show you guys this insanely stupid lie story that I caught 1090 Jake telling on this Ian Bick podcast. And I tell you, this is probably the most deranged thing I've ever heard 1090 Jake say. This is like a new version of a story we've heard before about the time that he made an attempt on another inmate's life. Very shortly into his stay in prison, he attempted to take the life of another inmate. And he nearly succeeded. He slashed him 3 times. You guys remember the story when he was like, every scar that I put on someone in there scarred me mentally. So I hit him 3 times in his throat. I hit him here to here. I hit him 3 times. I didn't know if blood was going to come out of nothing. None of that happened, but you guys remember that fucking story?
Yeah, every scar you put on a person mentally scars you.
Mm.
And I didn't understand that until now. So, you know, at the time, like the first kid that I cut, I told that in the first interview that I did, I slit his whole shit. I hit him 3 times on his throat. Had no idea how the fuck it was gonna be. I didn't know if it was gonna start shooting out and shit. None of that happened, but once I did that shit and they moved him out of the cell, I'm celebrating on the door.
Right.
All my homies are celebrating. Like, yeah, he just got one.
That's the same story that he's going to tell today, only it's going to be like more in depth. He, for no reason, I don't even think this Ian guy asked him to go into crazy detail about this. But I think what happened was 1090 Jake's like, I got to make it make sense. I got to throw details in because it sounded like a stupid lie story. And in his interview with the 16, it seems like everyone just brushed over it because everyone knew it was bullshit and they didn't want to press it because they didn't want to make 1090 Jake look stupid. A lot of people were protecting him, believe it or not. But in this podcast, he takes it upon himself to just start telling the entire story cover to cover, and that's what we're going to look at right now. And so I want you guys to listen to 1090 Jake's new version, and this will shock you. Watch this.
So we get moved into a cell upstairs. One of my bros is across the tier, like I can see in his window. So he tells me he finna cut my bunkie when he get out of confinement. And we like doing sign language and shit. And we texting each other. And he more or less says that my bunkie called him a derogatory term for Bloods. So he's like, I'm gonna cut him. I'm like, man, I'll do that shit. He's like, what's up? I got a razor in the room right now. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? I don't wanna look pussy because this is my first time getting into a situation like this. So I'm like, all right, shoot the razor. So what he does is, it's a straight razor, 1 blade that we get to shave with. He broke it in half. And he put the half behind the stamp. So the CO comes around, yo, CO, hey, can you pass these pictures to a cell, da-da-da-da-da. CO brings the shit over to me. I get the shit, I get the razor. I take the razor and I tie it on one of those flex pens that you get in confinement. I take string from my bunk, tie it on. I use the stamp to like cover the bottom half of the razor. So that
All right, so what 1090 Jake has just said is that he volunteered. He wasn't asked or requested. He actually went out of his way to volunteer to get involved with this. And this is over name calling, by the way. This isn't because he's getting someone back or this is a big deal. This is extremely stupid. And so 1090 Jake says that he was mailed the weapon by another inmate, and everyone's in confinement, by the way, but you can actually give an envelope to a guard to pass to another inmate in confinement. This is crazy. So this is Florida State Prison, huh? Very, very bizarre story, to say the least. And I didn't know that you need postage, so he put the stamp. So wouldn't the CO think it's funny that they put a stamp on the envelope to mail it to the inmate that's in the same, he's across the tier.
half behind the stamp on an envelope, and then he put some pictures in the envelope. Yo, CO.
So you can just send a CO on a personal errand for you. And they won't inspect the envelope or anything. They'll just bring it to you. So Jake is brought the murder weapon by the CO. And my question is, if they give you the straight razors to shave with, where's your straight razor? Why didn't you just make something out of your... So he says that he gets the blade from his buddy across the tier, but then he assembles the shank on his own from all of these resources. The bunk bed comes with string. They give you pens and stuff. Where's his razor? How come he doesn't have a razor? Why does he need to get things mailed to him that he should have in his hygiene? So this is really stupid. Let's keep going. This is going to be where he starts talking about the shanking. Watch this.
Like you see the movies, you play the video games. It's like, oh yeah, shooting. Nobody ever says, yo, cut his face open. You're like, what the fuck type of sick shit are you on? He goes up to the window and I ran up and I grabbed the back of his head with my hand, like pushed his face into the glass. I went to hitting his neck with the razor. So I got him from like here to here. There was 3 cuts. So one here, one here, one here. So I'm just hitting him, bam, bam, bam. I back up.
So they're in this tiny little cell, and Jake says, I waited until he turned his back to me to make my move. I crept up behind him. I pressed my body up against his. He could feel my breath on his neck, everything like that. So that's when I knew that he was erect and that I could slash him in his throat. Bam, bam, bam. This is really homoerotic, by the way, this story that he's telling. And I don't believe any of it, but, maybe it's true. So this is a really stupid thing. And again, why is he doing this? What is his plan? So what, he's going to kill this guy, and then instead of serving 3 years in prison, he's going to get life in prison, right? That's what you get for killing someone. Why are you slashing someone's neck in the cell with you? It's not like you can get away with it. The fuck?
I'm just as scared as he is at this point. Like, both of our eyes are wide as fuck. I don't know if he's just gonna start crashing me or whatever. So he holds his neck, and when you cut somebody, like, cause he's black, so you see like pink white meat, like, it's fucking gross. It didn't squirt, it just kind of like leaked, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I back up, I got the razor in my hand. He grabs his neck and he starts kicking the door. So I'm like, oh, fuck. He's bomb, 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 bomb. So now I know the CO is going to come in. COs, you can hear when they fat ass be coming up the stairs, and you can hear the keys jingling and shit. So when I know they made it to the top tier, I threw the razor in the toilet. But I'm thinking the whole time, the second I throw this razor, he's going to crash me. I'm going to get his blood all over me, all this shit.
Okay, so this doesn't make sense. How can you slash someone in the neck 3 times with a razor and not get any blood on you? So you had to have some blood on you. Secondly, he says he throws the razor in the toilet and flushes it. And then when the COs come, the guy who he attacked says, I was trying to kill myself. Okay, then why'd you throw the razor in the toilet? To hide the fact that you were doing that? Or it just doesn't make any sense. And why would the guy make up a story and give a statement on the account? Why wouldn't he just keep his mouth shut if he's so solid? Jake says, nah, he kept it solid. He never snitched on me. I got away with it scot-free. He never snitched. He told a story about how he wanted to kill himself. Why would he do that? If he's so not a snitch, why is he giving statements about what happened? Why didn't he just keep his mouth shut and let them figure it out? You know what I mean? Like, he has no obligation to protect you. That's not how it works. As long as he keeps his mouth shut, he's not a snitch. And secondly, if you got blood on your hand from shanking him in the neck, and the razor's not anywhere to be found, there's circumstantial evidence to suggest that he was actually attacked. And then you would go down, Jake would go down, and then the guy would become not a snitch. He wouldn't be a snitch, even though Jake went down. Do you understand? Does this make sense? So do you see what he's doing here? He's coming up with an excuse. He's patching the hole that was found in his previous story, where people in the comments were saying, why wouldn't he get ad booked for attempted murder if he did that, Because he never said that this suicide story's new. So this is a patch to fix a previous mistake in one of his huge lie stories. So he tells these long lie stories, and then he screws them up, and then he fixes them later. Do you understand? So let's go to this next little clip.
I throw the razor in the toilet. I flush that shit. The COs come up to the window, and they're like, what's going on? And he shows them his neck, and he's like, I want to kill myself. So I'm shocked. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking this shit in my head. Like, he said, what? They cuff him up. They cuff me up. They take him out the cell. He ended up getting taken to the hospital, like, fix his shit up or whatever, but he never snitched on me. And I never got in trouble for cutting him. But my buddy that was across the hall watched everything happen.
Wow.
So he ends up coming back, and they put him in the cell right next to mine. So when they take him out for showers, like, his shit's all like fixed up now. Like, I'm talking shit on the window, like, look at you, da da da. He's like, it's all good, I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? Like, we used to talk shit back and forth. We're in the cell right next to each other. But that was my first time fucking popping somebody. And then, like, my name, like, fucking spread through the whole JIT camp.
You earned your stripes.
What?
So 1090 Jake says he goes, I was shocked when he said that he was trying to kill himself. He stuck his neck out for me. What a stupid fucking story. And he says that the wounds were substantial enough that you could see pink, whitish meat. And I thought it was funny. He was like, hey, when you see a black guy, when he's stabbed in the neck, it's all gross and shit. It's like, what? Or what are you talking about? I think he thought that their skin was black, full thickness, like all the way through. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but black people do not have disgusting wounds as opposed to white people. They have equally disgusting wounds. I just want to make that perfectly clear. I thought that was a horribly racist thing to say. And so Jake narrowly escapes life in prison for attempted murder. You know what I mean? That would have surely given him a substantial amount of time if he were to go down. And he was willing to do this just for some guy he doesn't even know, to impress him, and that's it. And he was willing to throw his whole life away, go to prison forever to do this for some guy because he was called a name. That's what this whole thing is over. And so Jake says his name was ringing out throughout the entire camp. He was a hero, okay? And he's already deeply embedded in the politics. He's only got a 3-year sentence, and he's carrying out hits for people, okay? Jacob was a gladiator.
Kids in the other dorms, like, we'd see each other in crossing. They'd be like, yo, you still? I mean, hell yeah, because they thought I was going to fold my flag or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to cut to a clip that I thought was very interesting of Jake talking to 23andMe about his time in prison. And he tells a story that I actually kind of believe. And so this is very fascinating. So let's watch this.
You know, Buddy was basically just looking at me like, yo, hit him with it. Like, hit him with it. And I didn't do it. I didn't see the need to do it. I seen he was already getting pain inflicted. I knew at this point it wasn't about extortion. He wasn't breaking it off. He wasn't going to be extorted. He wasn't going for it. I knew that at this point, this is just to punish him and get him out of the dorm and bust his head. And I didn't do it. I didn't see a need to do it. And I stood by my decision. I seen the fear in his eye, and I didn't have that need. You didn't hit any of my people up. I'm not doing this for revenge. I'm not passionate about this right here. If you hit someone up that I care about, that's on my side, that's my circle, I wouldn't have that sympathy.
All right, so what he's saying is that he chickened out from hitting someone with a lock and a sock that he had, and he was supposed to. Everyone was egging him on to do it, and he didn't do it. He was afraid, and I believe that. So this is a true story, but there are some lie elements mixed in, like the fact that he's like, I knew that he wasn't going to break it off. He wasn't going to be extorted. He refused to be extorted. He's not refusing anything. He's getting stomped out. You said that you saw the fear in his eyes. How is that refusing to be extorted? Sounds like he's actively being extorted. This is the act of extortion. You don't have a choice. So for him to say he chose not to be extorted, that's viciously stupid. So, and he also says that he shanked the guy in the neck because he didn't want to seem pussy. I didn't want to seem pussy. And the guy told me to do it, so I felt like I had to do it. Why didn't he do it with the lock and the sock? Is that because he had already earned his stripes? Wow, so if you earn your stripes, you can chicken out of things. I mean, a lot of this shit doesn't make sense even for a movie standard. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like, really stupid. So this is crazy. You got this short stay first-timer inmate that comes in, and instead of, like, going into survival mode and just, like, acclimating himself, he's already extorting people. He's hitting people with brooms and shanking. I mean, the guy is an absolute maniac. That's crazy that he got out in less than, what, he did like 2 years or something in prison? Wow, you would think that this guy would be like a 30-year guy, you know? So that was a fantastic little piece of video. That was different than what we heard him tell Adam 16. He told Adam 16 that he shanked the guy, they took him away, and then all of a sudden there was a big celebration. Him and all of his buddies were celebrating the fact that he slashed this guy's throat. But in this version, he simply says that the guy across the tier, he saw everything that happened. I mean, what happened to the party? What happened to the we were celebrating and it was a fantastic day? He left all that out. So there's different versions, but this one was crazy. I thought that the facial expressions he was making were pretty crazy. I thought that the way that he would be lying and then he would quickly speed up his speech, like during the lie, that's lying 101 deception right there. Like, you know, when he's telling a story and he's like, and that's when I knew that I had to, because, you know, that's how it's, you know, when you pick up your speed like that, that's lie speech. When you're going slower at a normal pace and then all of a sudden you like almost interrupt yourself and start talking fast and like taking it to a new direction, that's very, very, let me just show you a clip. This is 1090 Jake talking about how he was extorting people. And how he, you know, got mad at this guy because he didn't want to gangbang anymore. So Jake made him tear it off. Watch this.
You know the push broom? It's like a T. And I grabbed the push broom, and I got two other people with me on the cleanup crew. They popped his door. I went in there and smacked the shit out of his ass with the broom. So, like, I'm going to flip him. Like, fuck it. So I go in there, pop his ass. I'm like, what's up? Break it off. He broke it off. So, like, when somebody's trying to extort you in Florida State Prison, in the jig camps, like, they're gonna fuck you up and tell you to break it off. You know what I mean?
So you were trying to extort him.
Yeah. Like, if you think they're not gonna try you, I'm gonna try you. And he first quarter broke it off.
Wow.
It's like, you was a bitch. Because in the county, you was tough as fuck. Like, you were doing more talking than me.
Yeah.
And then you come in here talking about a Bible. All right. Hit him with the broomstick. He breaks it off.
He showed his cards as a
So I got to hitting him with it, and I said, break it off. He broke it off. So that's what, you know, in Florida State Prison, you know, that doesn't sound like a real story. It sounds like he's like reciting lines from a script too fast. And this interview is chock full of lies. Funny, hilarious ones too. Like this one, he tells about like the worst of the worst kids inside the prison, the kid prison that he went to. Listen to how he describes the people there. He's like, there was not one white person there. They all look so scary. Watch, listen, just watch.
We line up for chow. I think we were in C-Dorm. I think that's what it was. We line up for chow. I'm in the back of the line with like the people that I know from the city and shit. And F-Dorm comes marching up. So we got to march. We got, hip, hype, hip, hype. It's like military shit. We got a PT and everything. We see F-Dorm coming, bro. And we know that that's the jungle dorm. Like everybody like whistle like, oh, that's F-Dorm, that's F-Dorm.
The jungle dorm? Okay.
F-Dorm, that's F-Dorm. So I look back. I'm like, man, fuck F-Dorm. I look back. Bro, these kids are like 6'4", 6'5". No white kids. Everybody looks crazy as shit. They're all their eyes are like this. They got.
Listen to how he's describing these people. He's like, they were all 6'4". They had snaggletooth. They were all black, 6'4", big old basketball. I mean, this is almost racist. It is racist. So for him to say these racist remarks speaks volumes. It really does. You know what I mean? For him to describe people like that just tells me that he's not around black people that much, or didn't grow up with them at least, because that shouldn't be even a detail to include. You don't say there was not one white kid. Why would that matter? There's never a white kid. I thought you were the white blood guy that hangs out with nothing but black people. The fuck is what are you talking about? And the comment he made earlier in this interview about black people, when they get cut, it looks disgusting. What is going on? Why is he saying such disparaging things about black people? I mean, the way it sounds, it's like almost like black people are alien to him. Like he's never seen a black person with a cut before, or he's never seen a bunch of black people in the same area without one white person, at least in the same general vicinity. It's almost like Jake doesn't know anything about anything. For him to add this detail in the story to make the people sound scary, like there was not one white person, that's how fucking scary that's really crazy.
Shit, nigga, get that money, nigga. Y'all tatted up big stupid ass bees out in this bitch, y'all.
All right, so that's going to do it, guys, for this video. I'm so glad that you guys have hit the like button. I see the likes going up, so I will make more videos. I could do 2 videos a day, okay? So, I appreciate everyone watching these videos, okay? So I'll see you on the next one.